All right. So I guess now you understand what the plan was.
Absolutely. At Colts Law, we talk Indianapolis Colts football.
We're going to stick to what we know, fundamentals and technique, 1% better every day.
What's going on, Colts Nation? I'm Lawrence Owen. With me, as usual, is my boy Loyalist, and we are here with Colts Law. We are going to discuss training camp. It's only 5 days away. 5 days. Holy crap. What's up, Toxic? I hope everybody is excited for this year's training camp. Can't wait for it to get started. I personally, I'll be there at least twice a week. I don't know if I'll be able to get more than that. Depends upon, donations from all of you. I'm kind of leaving it up to you guys on how much I get there. You can use the link in the description, obviously, for donations to get there. And, anything that you put there will help out a ton. What's up, Smooth Fit? Appreciate you being in here as well. But I've got media credentials for this year. So the more often I go, the more I'll be able to talk to people, hang out, do live streams straight from camp. All right. Because the media center has Wi-Fi. So I could actually do, as long as Loyalist is there with me, because I would need the laptop that you guys bought him in order to do the live streams, because I don't have a laptop that works. But yeah, this is going to be great. Loyalist, what are your thoughts and emotions realizing how close we are to training camp?
Oh, the anticipation is ridiculous. Like you said, I mean, I feel like it's been a year and a half. I mean, it's like I wouldn't relate it quite to Christmas, but it's like, when you're sitting there and you're getting ready to go on a vacation or something and with the family and stuff when you were younger. That's where I'm at today. It's like, man, it just can't get here quick enough. I know the players probably aren't looking at it quite that way, but I know I am.
Well, some of the players obviously are just as excited as we are. Yannick has been all over Twitter and social media, just getting involved with fans and stuff, right? Doing stuff like that, and he's incredibly excited. I'm sure there are other players out there that are excited as well, just to get out, get to work, do some stuff. Get the bad taste out of their mouth for how the season ended last year. I'm sure that's something that is rolling around with those guys. Toxic Gary, what's up? Appreciate you, man. So what I want to discuss today is our expectations when we go into training camp. We sit down, we watch training camp. What are our expectations going to be? And the number one expectation is I want to see that Ballard and Reich weren't just pulling our strings. Okay. I want to go out there and be like, all right, we don't need a wide receiver. All these guys look like they're doing pretty darn good. Right? Because that's what they've been feeding us all off season, right? And the T.Y. Hilton thing, and other guys out there, wide receivers that the Colts haven't picked up, they better be right. And that my expectation to walk in is to be like, wow, we are 5, 6, 7 deep at wide receiver, because if we're not, I'm going to be pissed. What are your thoughts, Loyalist?
No, I agree. And the thing is, with training camp, that's something that you can see day one, day two, because you can see how that timing's working out. You can see how well the communication is and stuff. So, yeah, that's one of those, even in the first couple of days when they're just in shells and stuff. I'm not saying that it's game-like or anything, but we can sit there and see the work that they put in over the summer and see how it translates and stuff early on. And the competition. I mean, you look at all these competition battles, whether it's the left tackle, really outside of the quarterback and the running back, there's not a whole lot of other places where there's limited competition. I mean, maybe Darius Leonard, but man, I'll tell you right now, and then to get a chance to see some of those young guys, just get to see some of those draft picks and see how they're adapting to becoming professionals and stuff. And their first training camp. I mean, heck, let's be honest, there's a couple, there's several guys. This is their first training camp, and they may be 1 or 2 years I mean, full on, everything, like it used to be in the thing. So this is their first taste of it and stuff. So yeah, like I said, as you can see, I'm stumbling over my words. It's like the excitement is ridiculous.
Another expectation that I have is when it comes to the trenches, especially you discussed it, over there on the tackle position, especially the right tackle. I want to see actual, like, whoever is there. I want to see wins and losses. I don't want to see one side dominate the other. Okay. Mm-hmm. I know what Yannick looks like. I've watched him, throughout the season. I've looked at his tape. He's good. Okay. I know what to expect from Kwity Paye for the most part. I've watched him, seen his tape, seen him in person, right? Know what to expect there. I want the left tackle position to be able to hold up against this pass rush. I don't care, right? I don't care who's sitting there. I don't care if it's Pryor. I don't care if it's Bernard. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, Bernhard Raimann.
Bernard, yeah. Okay. Just making sure. Because for some reason I was like, Bernard's? That's a store.
Yeah, put an M in front of it.
But yeah, I want that left tackle position to be battling, right? And win a lot out there. I don't care if it's the rookie. I don't care if it's, Pryor out there. Show me something more than what I saw last offseason, where even Ben Banagoo was just dominating who we had sitting there at the starting position. Come on.
Yeah, and then, like you said, the right guard. I mean, is it going to be Danny Penner? Is it going to be whoever was the, loser in the battle for the left tackle position, whether it's Pryor or Raimann, or like you said, is it going to be Will Fries? Is it going to be some of these UDFAs or some of these guys that have been on the practice squad and stuff? I mean, this team has got some really good depth at that O-line position. It's just not proven. It's not Quentin Nelson, and unfortunately nowadays that's where the bar seems to be for all the offensive line, so that's a pretty high bar, at least in my opinion. But like you said, I just see these guys, see how they work together, see how they communicate, especially that offensive line. I mean, these guys, Matt Ryan's no spring chicken. He does not need to be out there. Not that he can't, but he just does not need to be out there running for his life, and because you're not going to get nearly as much done. But, something else I was curious about is what's it going to be like? What's the energy like? What's Matt Ryan, because I never got to go and see Peyton Manning unless it was like pregame. How efficient everything was and how it was just boom, boom, boom. And it was honestly, guys, I remember my first game. I went and got there like 2 hour and a half early and just recorded these guys, just watching them because that was impressive. Thing is we've been hearing a lot about how Matt Ryan is really like a coach on the field and stuff. So what is that like? How efficient are they? How much good work are they getting in? Not repeating stuff and going over things that they should have already figured out.
Absolutely. Toxic brings up another thing, man. My expectations is that these rookies have got the playbook down. They've had the playbook all off season, with a few tweaks and stuff from coaches. Their study should be done. They should be able to go out there on the field and react, right? And just play. And granted, I understand that, this is we're talking about rookies, but we need to see stuff out of Raimann. We need to see stuff out of Alec Pierce. And with the retirement of, one of our safeties, Kari Willis, we need to see stuff out of Nick Cross. There are rookies out there that we need to see. And my expectation is to see them out there with the ones playing. I don't care that they're rookies, okay? These are guys that need to go out there. Look, Reich, listen to me, okay? Listen, if you're watching this, listen to me, Frank, all right? Because I love you, and I have a lot of faith in you. But we need some of these rookies playing with the first team. And I don't want to just see, our backup quarterback throwing to Nick Cross. Well, if that happens, then great for Nick Cross. Okay, but Alec Pierce, okay, I don't want to see. I want to see Matt Ryan out there with Alec Pierce. I want to see Matt Ryan out there with Jelani Woods, right? Because that's another battle. We got to look tight end. It's a very important position in the NFL today. Okay. And we've got 4 tight ends, 2 rookies, a second-year player, and Mo Alley Cox. Okay. One of these guys, if not 2 of these guys, have got to step up in training camp and be something. I expect to see that.
Yeah, and I really hope that we can get back to the ways of old, where it was like drops were a rarity. I remember, they're sitting there, Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison and all these guys were talking about how, that ball may not even hit the ground on a pass play, the entire practice. And I mean, boy, that would be a sight for sore eyes, wouldn't it? Because, we've had over the last couple of years, whether it was Colin Granson that had a little bit of the drop problems, or, and then, man, I just can't. It's like we get our Paris Campbell sighting too. We get to get out there and see him at his healthiest. And I just, Naheem Hines, and like you said, you mentioned the secondary. I mean, I am very intrigued to see that battle for that number 2 corner spot. Is it Faison? Is it Rodgers? Is it somebody else? I mean, there is just, like I said, there is competition all over the place. And the thing is it's not that, what we can get by. No, this competition is, like you said, to become a proven starter, to become a legitimate threat on the field. I mean, Nick Cross, I mean, I'm trying to temper my expectations because when we went through and did all the rookie diving into the rookies and stuff, I was familiar with Cross, but the more I dug into him after the draft and stuff, I couldn't, because for me, my first guy that I was super pumped to see was Alec Pierce. Awesome. We got a wide receiver, early rounds, and stuff. But after it was all said and done and doing the dives, man, Nick Cross has really got me just salivating just to see that speed and to see, that he can cover the field, but he can also just come and lay the which I don't want to see that because it's his own guys, but yeah. But like I said, just to sit there and see what all this competition and I mean, I'm not looking for perfection the first week. I really am not. I'm looking for guys who are going out there. If they make a mistake, that they improve and that 1% better, just like Coach is always talking about.
Look, Nick Cross, as Loyalist said, don't be laying the wood on your own team. Okay. Now, later on in training camp, when you're practicing against Detroit and they try to start biting your players' kneecaps, that's when you go ahead and lay it out. Just kind of like the way Jonathan Taylor last training camp, when the opposing team was getting a little too physical with him. And Taylor's like, I can bring that too, and then they started complaining that Taylor was being a little too rough. Man, I loved it when I saw that happen. I was like, Taylor's out there just giving it to him, and that was really good to see.
Yeah, and like you said, it was like 1 or 2 plays of it, and then they were just like, whoa, this is a whole different level. We, okay, did they open up a can of worms that they probably shouldn't have? Probably so during training camp.
Absolutely. Now you discussed earlier about the rookies and the young guys. Look, here's an expectation at wide receiver that we had discussed earlier. This is my expectation. I can't think of a better coach for them right now than Reggie Wayne. Okay. If there's 2 things that Reggie Wayne can teach every player on this team is hands and route running. That is the 2 things. And you talked about drops. There better not be none with Reggie Wayne sitting there coaching them up. Number 2, route running. The 2 things that we had the biggest problems with last year with Mike Strawn was his route running in his hands. Mm-hmm. I expect to see major improvement from Mike Strawn in that area this offseason during training camp.
And like you said, this is when we get to. I mean, we've seen pictures of what Strong came in. He looked like he'd added on a good 10, 12 pounds of lean muscle. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So sit there and see how that looks on that frame, because I remember last year we were like, dude, that dude's tall, but he looks like he could get broke. You know what I mean? It looked like if he took a wrong hit, that could have ended up not in the way we would have wanted it to. So to sit there and see him come out there, like I said, be more lean and stuff. And, and thing is, I sit there and I keep thinking about all these other guys. We haven't mentioned the international player, Marcel Debo. You know, we haven't mentioned Marvell Tell the third. I mean, so there's, like I said, this is 3 and 4 deep, you know, in certain positions where we're like, hey, this spot is open. Come and fight for it. You know, and like you said, Reggie can teach him those things. Teach him hard work, Reggie. Teach him how to come in and just work hard, work efficient. And like you said, set that bar much higher than I feel like it has been over the last couple of years. And that's not to knock what's been going on. But like I said, Reggie, he's just a different beast. You know, what is a pass and a fail to him? I imagine that bar is a little bit higher than what we've witnessed over the last couple of years.
Hey, Toxic says that, Reggie has potential as a coach, but in his way, he's a rookie coach. Not technically. He was an assistant wide receivers coach during training camp offseason a couple years ago. So he understands the routines and stuff like that. Now he gets a chance to bring his knowledge full on, right? So I think he already had his practice time at being coach. Now it's time for him to be the guy. I want to take a moment real quick while I'm here. We got 16, 17 people in here watching. Appreciate each and every one of you. Please smash that like button, hit subscribe if you're not subscribed, tag that notification bell, and share to your favorite social media. Help us get out there with our exposure. We appreciate it very much, man. Hitting that like button helps a ton. Also, right now in the live chat, I just dropped the link to the Discord, the Colts Law Discord. Loyalist, I'm going to let you go ahead and talk about that.
Okay, guys, the Discord is awesome, and I'll I know the guys on Discord are probably thinking, because I haven't been able to make it in there in the last couple of weeks, but I'll tell you right now, it's a really awesome time. You sit there and we get around other like-minded football fans. Not all of them are Colts fans, so it'll be, but that's the thing, it's a much more diverse group, and you got old guys like myself, you got young guys like Brandon Wood, so we, like I said, we've got all different varieties, guys, girls, and the thing about the Discord is it's not just football. I mean, it's sort of like our Patreon. If you guys haven't checked that out, $5 a month, you get a lot of extra stuff. I mean, you guys would have gotten to see all that Believe in Colts podcast. I mean, it was like 2 hours, but whenever Lawrence edited it down and stuff, I think it ended up being like an hour and a half. So you got like an extra half hour of free content. Listen to these guys talk about it. It was awesome. But yeah, that Discord it's awesome. And the thing is you can learn so much. I mean, during draft time, I can't tell you how many people we had in there just chewing up, each player and discussing the goods and getting different points of views, things that you're like, oh, I never thought about it that way. So it's a really good place to hang out, guys.
And during games, while they're live, no matter who watches, where they're streamed at, on our Discord, we all hang out and we watch, right? And we watch together. We hang out, we talk, discuss, yay or ooh or whatnot. And guys, he talked about the Patreon. The link to the Patreon is right here in the description as well to the video. So make sure you go check that out. Again, it's only $5 a month. Ton of extra stuff, man. Ton of extra stuff. Guys, this has been great so far. We're up to 20 people. Again, I just want to mention I do have training camp media credentials, but I do live far away and I'm in a bind. I do have some Believe t-shirts coming in that the Believe company bought and paid for and sent to me so that I can take to training camp, okay, when I go and get signed by coaches and players and then give them out here on the channel, whether it's on Believe or on Colts Law. Either way, it's still my channel. Give them out. Just giveaways. Here you go, man. Here's a signed, whatever, Matt Ryan or Frank Reich or maybe a whole team on there. We don't know. It just depends upon what happens. But I still need to get there. And I live kind of, even though it's the same state, it's a while to get there and back.
It's a big state. Let's just put it that way.
Right. So any donations by using the link in the description would be much appreciated to help with the gas money. And any extra money outside of gas money, I will buy more items, whether it be footballs or shirts or something like that, and have them signed and given away here on the channel as well. So we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Training camp's going to be huge this year, man. It's going to be fun. There's a lot of people out there. and they took away. Here's the expectations. I expect that fence line to be crowded at the end of practices. Okay, crowded. Last year, there was no, you couldn't get up and say hi and get signed for, the players were signing footballs, right? And throwing them out to the stands. The year before that, they didn't even have anybody out there at training camp because of the COVID situation. Protocols are done this year. So I expect all sorts of fans crowding the fence line, okay, and wanting autographs from their favorite players and coaches and stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe coaches will walk up. Man, Reggie Wayne's one of those kind of guys, right? Yeah. Cato June and Mike Mitchell, they might get out there and be like, I'll sign something for you. And if they're not, I'm going to be in their face because I'll be on the field. And I'll be like, hey, that guy right over there, or, that 8-year-old needs a Reggie Wayne signature because he don't know much about you because all he's got is past videos that he's got to look at. Show him who you are now. All right.
Absolutely. And like you said, where else can you go for free? Now, mind you, you have to get the tickets online, but they don't cost
$5 parking.
Okay. Yes. But as far as the event and everything, there's no charge to get in. All you got to do is get your free ticket. And you know what? Like, where else are you going to be able to go and get Hall of Famers, Reggie Wayne and Kevin Mawai, possibly to sign your stuff? I mean, let's be honest, guys. This is, I don't know if, how many of you guys can make it to these games and stuff, but this is a very inexpensive way to sit there and be plugged in and be part of it and become part of that Colts family. And I love the way they operate. And I'm telling you right now, the sorry, excitement overrunning me. Sorry, guys. But just the facilities and stuff are spectacular. I mean, everything, the heat, can't avoid that. It is July, early August, but if you can sit there and find a way to manage that heat, it is a beautiful, beautiful place to go.
Absolutely. Donald Shelton says, I think this is Balor's best offseason since he's been here. What do you guys think? I'm more excited for this camp to get started than I was last year. Now, am I more excited than last year? Yes. Okay. Total off-season wise, probably his best. Just between off-season signings and the draft, I think was great. Now, their draft was not as good as the 2018 draft. Let's just get that out the way right now. But the overall offseason, they went out and got Matt Ryan. They went out and got Yannick Ngakoue. They went out and got Gilly. They got some high quality talent to go along with some good prospects in the draft. So yes, I think that is something. But the more excited part about going to training camp is just the fact that, I don't see as many holes in this team as I saw last year, right? Even though we don't know the starter at left tackle, I'm going to assume it's in a much better shape than what it was this time last year. Okay. Just if it's not, we in some serious trouble. All right. You might as well go ahead and put one of them, police raid shields on Matt Ryan's left arm while he throws with his right, that way he can be protected from his blind side. Wait, I don't know. Is that a performance enhancing item? That would be awesome to do.
Yeah. And the thing is, like for me last year was my first time with Colts Law and everything, going to training camp. Mm-hmm. I went to all but two. One was canceled to weather and one I just couldn't make. Last year, there was a lot of excitement for me just because it was my first time, just because it was like, oh, okay, I get to see what these guys, I rooted for Kwity Paye during the draft, so I was real happy about that. But like you said, this year, it's not as much hopefulness as intrigue, because this year, it's not as much wishful thinking as it is, okay, now I just got to see what it looks like, because, like you said, there's no question about Gilly Lock. There's no question about Matt Ryan. There's no question about, Yannick Ngakoue. There, like you said, you look at these drafts, Alec Pierce, everything that we've already seen. And remember, these guys the rookies are all getting in there Saturday, so they're going to get their 2-3 days head start just to get acclimated.
There's some rookies that are walking in right now.
Oh, is there? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, and like I said, so for me, last year was a bunch of crossing my fingers, wishing, hoping that, the defensive line, but this year I just feel more confident in the personnel that they've provided. And I did want to go back real quick to something that you mentioned about Reggie Wayne and stuff, about this being his new coaching. Let's remember Reggie Wayne, the second half of his career, whether it was Deion Kane, Philip Dorsett, T.Y. Hilton, he coached these guys up. He was the coach on the field that we talk about, or in that room and stuff. So it's not like Reggie's unfamiliar with how to share his message and stuff. Now the difference is he's just got that title. So like I said, I'm not worried about Reggie Wayne and how he communicates. I mean, you sit there and you listen to these guys talk. Heck, I even listened to Naheem Hines, and the way he was talking about Reggie Wayne and Matt Ryan, I was ready to go today just hearing some of those words. So if the players are that hyped, it just makes it even that more. And it's not that PR hype. You can feel it. You can sense it just in the way they're talking. They sound like me, talking real fast and excited. It feels like it's really different than it was last year. Last year was a lot of wishful thinking. This year it seems like, oh man, I can't wait to see what these guys do on the field.
Oh yeah, and expectations are a lot higher across the board, as we've been talking about, guys. I think it's about time for me to actually drop a couple ads. I mean, it's been a half an hour, so I'm about 7 minutes past due. Real quick, guys, go check out my merch shop. Look, like I said, I could use any money that I could possibly get in order to get gas money just to get there and back, and then of course the $5 parking. But hey, if you want to get something in return, not just, a chance at a signed item, go check out my merch shop. Come check out the Colts Law merch shop. New items added every week. All sorts of items, from clothing to cups to cozies to backpacks, hats, just miscellaneous items that you can get around the house, even phone covers. Just check it out. Let me know. Send me a message. Hey, is there something that I'm missing? Go feel free to ask. Have a good one. And then don't forget Backroom Collection, because Defo said so. This channel is proudly sponsored by the Backroom Collection. They do beautiful sports canvas art with football, basketball, baseball, and other sports themes. Special orders are accepted and autograph pieces are available. Many Indianapolis Colts sign pieces will be available beginning in November. Just use your discount code CL10 to purchase the pieces you want to spice up your living area. That's CL10. Right, I said go check out the Backroom Collection.
Look at you. You're even adding to the promotion. That looked really clean, man. Nice job.
All right, yeah, that depot came from the Backroom Collection, so you can get yours there, or Darius Leonard, Jonathan. They got a beautiful Jonathan Taylor with a water horse. Oh my God, it is gorgeous. But go check it out, and the merch shop. And again, I'm having a lot of fun. I am so excited. I mean, I have been to quite a few training camps over the years, and this was I haven't been this excited for a training camp in a while. And that is the truth. Okay. It's been since the Luck eras that I was this excited about training camp. So I know that John Davis said in here, hey, I still don't have the means to go, but I'll still be excited. Hey, look, like I said, we'll be there. Feel free. At least once a week, I'll be doing live streams, as long as, like I said, Loyalist is there with me and I'm able to make it. We'll do live stream straight from the media center. You can join in and talk with us and ask questions, right? So just let you know. King Cracker, what's up? Love it when I catch the show live, but I got to rewind so I can. Local chat, sad face. But listening while walking the dog, life is good. What's going on inside? Appreciate you, man. Matt, what's going on? Look, get back on here. We shouldn't be off track when camp starts, and they have to work on the schemes for the last few months. So I believe we're going to be off to a great start. Absolutely. Lots of different stuff that they're going to be dealing with between, obviously a slightly adjusted playbook due to a new quarterback. But I mean, let's face it, this team is used to that by now. If they're not, then there's something wrong. And then, of course, the defense has to be a little interested with the new Gus Bradley scheme, right? That's coming in. So my expectations is I'm going to see different stuff, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and I want to see more aggressive. I want to see a more aggressive defense. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, and like you said, get Gus Bradley, Nate Ollie. Let's make them feel like James Ross. Oops, sorry. Let's make him feel like James Ross. He says, Nate Ollie, just get them guys, get their motor running, get them ready to run through the wall, a la AKA Quentin Nelson. Get them ready to deal bars through all these things.
If you can get through Quentin Nelson, then you deserve a raise. I don't care who you are. All right.
Yeah, and another thing I really like about this training camp, I mean, well, me personally, it stinks because later in the day, heat's going to be hotter and stuff. But outside of the heat, the way that the schedule works more similar to the way the regular season does. And I'm interested to see how that impacts these guys because, I mean, all last year, most of the training camps were real early in the day. You know what I mean? This year, now they're going to be hitting the field, whether it's, the first practices or the late night, which is basically like a primetime game, or now, during the day, like I said, the heat's going to be higher, but these guys are going to be their time clock, their internal time clock is going to help get into that mode. Okay, this is game day, type mode, and seeing how you talk about these elite athletes and how they have to train their body and how, I mean, it's time sensitive too. You know what I mean? So you go in training camp and you're having all these 1 o'clock practices and stuff. Well, just so happens games are at 1 o'clock. So I'm interested to see how that pans out. And whatever happens, most important, stay healthy, guys. Stay healthy. Let's keep the bones where they belong this year. Ryan, keep them elbows in tight, whatever. I mean, there's a lot of, most importantly, stay healthy because this team I honestly believe this team is going to be more of a sleeper in the national media because they don't really, understand how good this wide receivers room can be. They don't understand how tenacious this defense is going to be. And from everything that we've heard, and like I said, what we've sort of seen on film and stuff, I'm really, really excited to see what these guys look like.
Yeah, and just to drop a little bit of info in case you guys didn't happen to see the interview with Quentin Nelson at his fundraiser, where he, his fundraiser Fighting Cancer, where Jim Irsay dropped $50,000 at that fundraiser for that, which that's awesome. His fundraiser Block Cancer went off great, but they were talking about at the end of the interview Quentin Nelson's contract extension, and apparently they have been discussing it this past offseason. And he says that, he's been here the last 4 years, and that he's incredibly excited. He loves the organization. He loves the fan base. He wants to stick around. It is a priority to get the contract extension done and move and be able to move on and play through the season. So I'm expecting that to happen here soon, so let's go get that. Let's go get that done.
Yes, man, I tell you what, that'll be my first jersey. All you got to do is sign that dotted line, and I don't know how I'm going to get it, but I'm going to get my first NFL jersey, and it's going to have a big 5-6 on it.
All right. Yeah, absolutely, man. I don't have a newer jersey other than the Darius Leonard military jersey. But when I am able to afford one, I'm definitely going to get one. It'll probably be a JT28. Yeah. Because
like I said, my kids are just grown up, and quite honestly, it was just, hey, let's keep clothes on their back. My son, yeah, I look big, he looks lean, but he eats 3 times as much as I do. So this will be the first year now that I can honestly put 100% into it.
Toxic is dead right. He says if you've never been to something like this, you'd be stunned at how big and fast these guys really are. And look, I played football, okay, at the college level. So I know how big some guys are. Defoe, I am almost the same size as Defoe, okay? Because I'm 6'7" or 6'6", about 280. He's a little bit bigger than me, all right? But he looks like a monster out there on the field, okay? Another guy, Luke Rhodes. I have talked about Luke Rhodes so much, but man, at training camp, he just looks like a monster out there, right? Because like he's got his shirt up and his sleeves pulled back, and he's just looking like, and I'm like, holy cow. All right. So
and that's the long snapper?
And that's the long snapper. All right. Holy macaroni and cheese. Inside the hey Matt, he says got to get that deal done ASAP. And you're right, man. Got to get that deal done. I think we're probably getting close to the end of this stream. Is there any final words or questions? Since we're getting ready to end this stream here pretty soon, if there's any questions or comments you want to drop in here, drop them in the chat now. Again, if you want to donate to help us with gas money, you can use the link in the description right down here below where it says Streamlabs donations. Or you could use, the YouTube super chat. I'd appreciate that as well. Or afterwards, there is a thanks button that you can use as well once we're no longer live. Matt from Inside the Horseshoe Podcast just joined last week, I believe it was, right? Mm-hmm. Our Patreon. So welcome to the family. Appreciate you. So Loyalist, any final closing thoughts?
No, like I said, guys, let's stay healthy. Let's go out there. Let's be efficient. And most of all, let's just have a lot of daggone fun. Let's get that brotherhood built strong.
I absolutely 100% agree with that. And if you have social media, let these players know, tag them and say, hey, can't wait to see you at training. Even if you're not going to be at training camp, just say that you can't wait to see them at training camp. Get them hyped for it too, man. Mm-hmm. Right. I do it all the time. It's fun, but I will be there at training camp, just like Loyalist. Guys, thank you so much for coming. Appreciate each and every one of you. James says that that pass rush, for the love of God, can't wait. Yeah, amen. Amen. Especially the depth, right? Well, I think that's going to do us. I just please smash that like button before you leave. Okay, just do me that one solid, and I would appreciate it. And until next time, I'm Lawrence Owen. That's Colts Loyalist. This was Colts Law. Can't wait to see you at training camp. And I got it right this time, Colts Law, because I know I get them mixed up now that I do two podcasts. Until next time, have a good one.
Just because a player's not a household name doesn't mean we can't make him a household name.
Matty Ice, I want you to turn every one of these guys that no one knows about into household names. By this time next year, I want people to know who Mo Alley Cox is. I want people to know who Paris Campbell is. I want people to know everything across the nation. All right. I want 6 Pro Bowlers on this offense, and it's up to you to get her done.